Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. I'm Brandon, and today I just wanted to go over what kind of gear you should be wearing as a beginner rider or even as an intermediate or advanced rider, what kind of gear to get, what gear to get first, and how to get yourself prepared to ride one of these bad boys. All right, so obviously one of the first things that you need to get in terms of gear is a helmet. Usually a lot of helmets you could find pretty cheap on Amazon or anything like that. Please don't buy those. If you're going to be getting a helmet, get something like this. This is an Ride Region X. It's my first helmet that my dad gave me. It has an ECE rating, which is the rating you should be looking for, and it does absolutely great in terms of protecting my head, my neck, and my eyes. The other thing that you should be looking for is a nice pair of gloves. Now, gloves are pretty mandatory in my opinion. If ever you slide around or get thrown off of your bike or anything like that, the first thing that you're going to want to do is put your hands out, and you really don't want to damage your grippers. That's kind of a big deal. Or if you get into a crash or anything like that, you don't want to break your hands. Now, something that's going to be really nice for you to own is to have some nice shoes or boots that you could use for riding. Now, these are my TCX Hero 2s. I absolutely love these boots. They're waterproof. They are actual riding boots, so they offer some really nice protection for my ankles as well as for my toe. They do absolutely great, but any riding shoe or leather shoe is going to do you just fine. And finally, you obviously want to be able to protect your upper body and your lower body. So some riding jeans, which I'm not currently wearing, as well as a riding jacket or hoodie or sweater would be highly recommended. Now, wearing normal jackets, normal hoodies, or normal pants is also going to be okay, but in the event of a crash or a low side or anything like that, these clothes will tear super fast, which is also why I always wear my riding jacket. The riding jacket that I'm currently wearing right now is the Alpine Star Ignition Missile V3, and I absolutely love this jacket, though it was very expensive. It's a racing jacket, but it has incredible amounts of armor while at the same time being made of leather. So some other accessories that you can buy for yourself for riding would be things like an intercom or a Bluetooth communicator that you can connect to either your phone or your cameras to record audio or to be able to call or listen to music. I use a Cardo Pack Talk Edge specifically for me. I love this thing. Cardos are absolutely great. They're not a sponsor of this video. I wish they were, but Cardo is my choice for any communicator that you put on your helmet. Now, a lot of helmets also offer different colored visors or tinted visors or even just dark smoke or light smoke visors. I definitely recommend you purchasing one at some point. Reason being, these work just like sunglasses for your eyes, so it's not going to be as bright when you're riding during the day. Now, let's go over how to actually get started on a motorcycle. Step one, you're going to want to sign up for a Motorcycle Safety Foundation course or an MSF course. Basically, it's a course that teaches you how to ride a motorcycle as well as the fundamentals of motorcycle safety, how to operate, as well as maintain your motorcycle. By signing up for one of these classes, you're going to get an MSF endorsement, which allows you to skip through to get your license, as well as teach you the necessary skills to become a rider. Now, for a lot of MSF courses, at least here in Colorado, they range between $340 to $400, so they can be a bit expensive. But again, what you're paying for is an entire class teaching you how to ride, as well as the necessary tests that it's going to take for you to get your license. Once you've completed your MSF, obviously you're probably going to need a bike. Here's some easy ways to get some bikes just to learn with and to prepare yourself for your very own bike. Now, first things first, obviously you can get your own bike. Now, this is my Ninja 650. This is my first personal motorcycle, though I've had some experience with other motorcycles in the past. This is my very first. This is my baby. I will be upgrading it at some point though, so another good way to honestly get some experience on a bike if you don't already have one or you couldn't already afford one is honestly to rent a bike. There are motorcycle rental websites like Twisted Road that offers tons and tons of bikes that you'd be able to rent yourself, and you'd be able to use those rental bikes in order to practice. Other than that, if you do have any friends that own any motorcycles, feel free to try to borrow theirs. Honestly, even if it's a little bit of a higher end bike or something that's a little bit higher displacement, as long as you're riding carefully and they know how to teach you how to ride, it could also be a pretty good way for you to learn how to ride. Now, for beginners, I would particularly recommend you guys to get actual beginner motorcycles like the Ninja 500 or the Aprilia RS 457 or even the Yamaha R3. I wouldn't recommend you stepping all the way up to like an R7 or an RS 660 right away unless you feel so bold to. But something to always take into consideration is budget, your financial situation, as well as your skill level. One of the biggest things to keep in mind whenever you're getting a motorcycle is to just be honest with yourself. If you really don't have very much experience, it's not going to be very smart for you to go up in terms of the CC range or up in the displacement, because honestly, you could either lose control of your bike or it's just not going to be a good learning experience for you. You're not going to be able to learn all of the skills. Starting out on a lower CC or lower displacement bike is going to allow you to learn better skills, learn slower maneuvers, as well as give you more control over the bike itself. On top of that, a lot of people out there actually do what's called riding dirty, which is when you ride without a license or an MSF endorsement. I do not recommend this for anybody. I do recommend everybody out there to learn how to ride their motorcycle through an MSF course, as well as get their license in a good and proper way, just so that way we have more responsible riders out there who have the skill set necessary to ride their bikes. And honestly, when it comes to gear, you don't necessarily have to break the bank for it. I obviously spent quite a bit of money on the gear that I own, purely because I just really wanted some really nice gear to keep me safe, but you definitely don't have to go with this expensive of gear. I would say a golden rule for how much you should spend on gear, especially when you're first starting out, is around $1,000 to $1,500. And if that's still out of your budget, then I can definitely recommend you to search on the used market for any used helmets, used jackets, used gloves, or used boots. Other than that though, once you have everything prepared, you'll be ready to ride. But I hope this video was informative for you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Any questions that you have, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I would love to answer them either in a video or in the comments. I'm going to do my best to read them, but I'll see you guys in my next video.